We're sitting here listening to this Saquon Barkley footage where the Giants call him up and basically tell him, hey, why don't you go test free agency? Go do our homework for us. Go find out what your price is to return. And after you're given a better offer, an amazing contract offer, come back. Come back and see us. And maybe we can give you the same offer and you can play for a much crappier organization that doesn't understand how valuable you are. Not to mention the Giants thinking that giving the long-term deal to Danny Dimes was wise and not giving the long-term deal to Saquon Barkley was wise. No offense to the Giants fans out there or anybody that believes in Neighbors, who I also believe in. I just don't know what the future holds for him, especially if Dable's not there in 2025. Who knows how this ends up? The Giants are one of the dumbest organizations in the history of the NFL. in some ways, in the way they operate lately at least, to literally not understand what in the hell they're looking at in Danny Dimes, to give him a massive amount of money, to marry this organization to Dimes for one more year and pigeonhole this entire momentum shift that should be behind Neighbors, supporting Neighbors, lifting Neighbors up, bringing Barkley back, Neighbors and Barkley and a good quarterback. We could be looking at an entirely different situation for Neighbors and this entire, Giants fan base. If you're a Giant fan right now, I don't think I offended you. I know you've won. I know there's been success in the past. I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the fact that you could have a good quarterback, Saquon Barkley, and Malik Neighbors. But instead, you have Danny Dimes married to Danny Dimes. You have Neighbors completely held back and no Saquon Barkley. You know who is Saquon Barkley? You know who has the glory of Saquon Barkley's presence right now? The Philadelphia Eagles, the likely NFC champions in 2024. If not, it is second to only the Niners if the Niners keep it all together, keep it all healthy. It's the Eagles and the Niners essentially, and there are other teams that I think are going to put up a fight. I'm not trying to pretend like there isn't a absolute battle going on in the NFC between the Lions, the rising Packers, the Eagles. You got the Niners. The Rams are going to do wonders. The Falcons will be so good this year that we're going to have this staff being talked about for decades as to what they did with this quarterback situation that everybody crapped on right away. How good Bijan is, how good London is, how good Raheem Morris is as a head coach, similar to D'Amico Ryans, bringing in the right OC and Zach Robinson. It's going to be a marvelous talking point in the offseason in 2025. This is a remarkable amount of teams fighting for the NFC Championship. I'm not trying to belittle anybody. But maybe I guess you could say the Chicago Bears. Past that, let's go back to the screen right here. The Eagles are going to make the Giants regret the day they didn't give Saquon Barkley a long-term deal. And Barkley is hungry and he's incentivized more than anything. Let me show you that. And we've got Barkley on the Marsman list here.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Marsman.
Let's bring this back over here. Let's plop the good old incentive sheet right in front of your face. This is the incentive sheet for Saquon Barkley. $500,000 for the first team All-Pro. 1,500 yards and rushing and receiving sum totals, $250,000. If he hits 2,000 total rushing receiving yards, that's $500,000. 1,000-yard regular season rushing plus the team wins the NFC Championship, $250,000. The same thing, but wins the Super Bowl, that becomes $500,000. This man is being given $4.5 million in incentives to make the Giants wish they had never heard his name. And Giants fans are absolutely just beside themselves. Let's go back over to the Marsman real quick.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Well, look at this guy.
Marsman.
Look at Derrick Henry. What do you see a little piece of paper by Derrick Henry's right ear?
Boats dropping and spinning aimlessly in
Yeah,
space.
that little slip of paper right to the left side of Derrick Henry's face, to his right ear. Let's bring that little number on screen. Oh, what do you know? It's another incentive slip. $16 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens with $4 million in incentives. 1,200 rushing yards, $500,000. 1,500 rushing yards, that becomes $1 million. 13 total touchdowns, that's $500,000. 15 total touchdowns, that becomes $1 million. He runs for 1,500 yards and has 15 touchdowns, 15 and 15. Nice ring to it. It also has a nice ring to it. $2 million is what happens. 1,000 yards rushing and team wins the Super Bowl, $500,000. Just some of the incentives. $4 million in incentives for Derrick Henry. My point being here is you're looking at two players that are extremely undervalued because they deserve to go higher. I'm not saying I want Henry to go higher. If Henry was to breach round 2, I might even be out. I love the line in the sand for him where if you get in round 3, he flips from a I don't know to a go get. Okay. Barkley, his line in the sand, I don't know, it'll probably be like 12 overall. The fact that you can get Saquon Barkley in the second round is a home run. These are two home run players. You could go wide receiver in round 1. Let's just call it Jamar Chase, St. Brown, whoever. You could go Barkley in 2, Derrick Henry in round 3, and this will be a robust feeling running back room, Barkley, Henry, without having to use your first rounder on a running back. Tell me that's not a remarkable start for you in 2024. Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, maybe even a Patrick Mahomes in the 4th round. Championship? I think it might be. And this guy right here, Derrick Henry, thinks it might be. Here's video footage of him working out right now like an absolute monster. Check out this guy doing this. I mean, he does this every offseason, right? We get excited. We see him lifting with chains around his neck. He's preparing like no other for this role that he's going to be handed. A role that is to try and divide the responsibility between he and Lamar Jackson instead of Lamar Jackson carrying the burden for the team constantly. And yeah, it's going to be hard to know if he can be the same guy between the tackles, but Todd Monken's going to throw the ball to him more than anybody's expecting. And the way to get the most out of Derrick Henry, given that he probably can't hit the same way that he used to, he's probably losing a little bit of a step. The easiest way to conserve the value and get the most out of Derrick Henry at this ripe age of 75 years old is to throw the ball to him. Todd Monken, who did an unbelievable job last year with a very short window of time to work with Lamar because Lamar was holding out, and he put together a pretty damn good system and offense that Lamar did a pretty damn good job deploying. And now you had Todd Monken saying, give me Derrick Henry. Let me throw to Derrick Henry. And they're even practicing a lot, throwing the football to Derrick Henry. I do believe we'll see him used more catching the ball than we've ever seen him. And this is something that fantasy football worlds have been calling for a while. I mean, raise your hand in the chat if you remember Derrick Henry catching a screen pass or a pass in the flat, and he'd take it 75 yards to the end zone. And you'd say, well, maybe we should throw the ball to him more, and then the Titans wouldn't. Raise your hand if you remember kind of saying that at the TV once in a while, because I do, and they never did much about it. This guy was kind of coined as not a PPR guy for good reason, because the Titans didn't throw to him. It doesn't matter what we thought he was capable of. The Titans didn't do anything about it. I believe the Ravens understand that they need to use him more catching the football. I think Derrick Henry is going to have a remarkable year considering all the risk involved. And this is a guy that was hard to draft high last year. You don't have to draft him high. His value is baked in. His risk is baked in to the value. And 3rd round value, he was going in round 4. I love that. I wish he was still going in round 4. But he's not. He's going in round 3. But that's good enough. And I don't think we should be selfish. I think we should take advantage of it. And I think we should smash the hell out of it where and when we can and when it makes sense. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But Derrick Henry is a fantastic addition to your 3rd round draft selection. that arsenal of players that you consider in the third round. That was probably the longest intro this show's ever had, 10 minutes and 4 seconds. But I decided to do all of the heavy lifting on the front side of the intro. And on the second side of this thing here we're doing tonight on the Graveyard Shift is we're drafting on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. I'm going to drop that link. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat. We're going to get into a weekly's draft. So swipe on over, hover over that. Don't click anything yet. We'll be getting into a weekly's. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat. I've done so right now. If you want to be a part of the Underdog Fantasy Draft, where they'll match your first deposit 50% up to $250. So you deposit $50, they'll give you $25. You deposit the $10 minimum, they'll give you $5, all the way up to $250. Click the link. Get ready. The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks. You're watching a
Graveyard Stream.
Appreciate you all being here. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. Nice little intro there on those two, and I think everybody should be consuming them where it's appropriate. And you have any questions about where I value them and you're just late to the party, just replay that first 10 minutes and all your hopes and dreams will be answered. Trade 2025 second for DJ. Trade a 2025 second for DJ for a QB 3 Dynasty Superflex. Just Sherman, I don't know what in the hell you're saying here. I think you jostled around a few things. Trade a 2025 second for DJ for a quarterback for a QB 3 Dynasty Superflex. QB 3 Dynasty Superflex. I don't trade 2025 second for DJ Moore for. Okay, in a 3 QB league, I think is what you're saying. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, or DJ Moore? I think you're talking about QB, Daniel Jones, DJ. No. I don't know. I don't know, Josh Sherman. I don't know. 20 second. I think you're saying and DJ Moore. DJ Moore. Restate it. You don't have to do a super chat, but just restate the question, bro. I don't know what we're talking about there. And reread it before you submit it. Okay, let's get into a live draft. Go ahead in 5 seconds. You're going to click that weekly winners green button. Okay, so you're going to go to the Underdog Fantasy app. I've given you the app. It's the links in the description of the video. Okay, click that green button now on the weekly winner contest. Okay, and I'm going to jump in here with you all as well. We're going to load this sucker up. 6 more to start, so I know we've got plenty of room to get you guys into this draft if you would like to partake in said draft. Thank you, Josh Sherman, for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. I hope you don't take great offense to me not understanding what in the hell you're trying to say, but I would definitely love to help you out, so restate that. What's up, Sick Nasty in the building? Appreciate you, my guy. All right, here we go. Let me open this up real quickly. We got the draft starts in 41 seconds. Let me find that draft and put it up on the screen here so we can all enjoy this particular draft. Where is this countdown timer when you need it? Let me refresh my stupid screen. Draft begins in 19 seconds. 19 seconds. Sebastian, hold on 1 second. Mute yourself if you would. I'm going to come to you in 1 second. Let me see if I can get this. I can't get this draft to load on my freaking screen. Here we go. Starts in 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Let me go ahead and hit the button. Can I get there in time to catch the first pick? Boom. Nailed it. And I'm on the clock. I guess I'm going to catch the first pick. Weekly winners. Not straying away from McCaffrey in a weekly winners. Just not doing it. I don't think it's smart to. When you get the one pick, take the risk of McCaffrey's 28 age season, because weekly winners, he could get hurt, after 1 month of football and still be the top scorer in fantasy for 4 straight weeks and give you a real strong shot at that 20K. Because, again, we're playing weekly winners here. Weekly winners is essentially any given week you can win $20,000 for first if you're the highest scoring team of the week. And no week is tied to another. There's no playoffs. Week 17 is no more importance than week 1. It's just a matter of drafting a team and trying to win with it. 1 time, 2 times, 10 times. You could win 17 weeks if you really wanted to, and win 20K each of the 17 weeks. But no week is tied to another, and that makes Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, older players, even like a Devontae Adams, higher ranked than I normally would have them, because you don't really care. I mean, you care if they get hurt. You want 17 shots at 20K, but you know, a guy like Henry becomes valuable because you know he can have like 7 straight great games, and if he does slow down at the end of the year, at least you had the best shot trying to win. 2025 second for Daniel Jones. So 2025 second for Daniel Jones in a super flex to be your QB3. Much clearer. You know, I don't hate... Look, Daniel Jones can score fantasy points if we're trying to be objective about it in a super flex. But would I much rather have like a shot on Penix Jr. or Fields? Probably. And just kind of, you know, worry about my flex play being a non-quarterback until that happens. I mean, I honestly would rather roll the dice, but I'm a dice rolling mofo. But is this a bad move? A second rounder? I don't really care so much about a second to get that QB production, I guess, for a while. The thing is, like, he's coming back from an ACL tear. Is he even going to be fully healthy? Will he even start more than 4 games? I mean, there's a lot of risk to it, but as a second rounder, I'm not worried about it, Sherman. Look at the previous scoring with Danny Dimes and make sure he's scoring relatively well in this format. He probably is. This super chat here from Pound says, "Hey Smitty, where can I hit you up for business ops?" Just send me a message on Instagram, I guess would be best. Thanks for the super chat, pal. Okay, let's see here. Jonathan with another super chat. Jonathan says, "Smitty, this is a $10 holler. It's my boy."
To the moon.
Where am I at? Smitty, it's Bay Area Thomas. I asked you about Wilson at number 11 and Olave at 14, but now Wilson is going higher than 11, so I'm going running back. I don't mind that, bro. I don't mind that at all. People are wild in how they think that you can't go RB, even in a best ball. They just don't. They're too married to this data. They don't understand. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you with the super chat, but I also don't mind, like, you know, London, bro, at the 12 spot. You know, let's take a look at the 12 spot in this particular draft. Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, are you telling me Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to be one of the options? Or you tell me Olave? I don't go Olave. I just don't love Olave at 14, bro. I like Olave. I just don't love Olave. You know, Olave doesn't have a quarterback. This is very similar to Neighbors. What are we talking about here? You know, why are we drafting Neighbors at 25 overall? It doesn't make any sense. It's not good business. It's just not. Olave, you know, anywhere near the 2-3 turns, okay. You know how much I love Olave. And Derek Carr could feed him the ball enough. We don't really know. But at the end of the day, like, you know, running back is just fine by me, pal. If Garrett Wilson's gone, if A.J. Brown's gone, if Puka Nakua's gone, that means that maybe Jahmyr Gibbs is going to fall. I smashed the hell out of Jahmyr Gibbs at the 12 pick, the 11 pick, the 14 pick. Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe he's there, maybe he's not. Do I take Kyron at 14 or Achane? I'm not scared of it at all. And of course, in my own draft, during a Derrick Henry show, you have to snag him right before. Let's go. This is weeklies. I'm going with firepower Josh Allen. I don't care. Early quarterback, Smitty. Why would you go early quarterback? I'm also going with the guy that I believe deserves this selection, and I could care less who thinks it's too early. Give me DK Metcalf. He's going to explode. I've got a balanced team. Maybe DK's going 5-6 spots too high, but I can't trade. There's no trading here. And I want the best player, the guy I think can carry me week in and week out in DK Metcalf. The guy I believe under Ryan Grubb is going to have 12 to 14 touchdowns. 1,200 plus, 1,300 yards, 70 to probably 80 to 90 receptions this year. DK Metcalf is hungry. DK Metcalf is going to prove he's better than just some one-trick pony route running man. This is a 14 touchdown capable receiver. And this, my friends, is a balanced approach that I like to deploy. And Smitty, the data says the data. Be a slave to the data all you want. The data is helpful. The data shouldn't drive you. 2023 data shouldn't drive your 2024 best ball drafts. Everybody's slave to it. Makes no sense at all. Thomas, if you got a follow-up on this one, let me know. But 11 and Olave 14. So 11 Gibbs or Hall would smash. I would take Marvin Harrison Jr. there if I need to. Marvin Harrison Jr. at 11 and Barkley at 14. That's not bad, bro. Try that. And Giovanna, call in if you want to get more advice on this. Call in if you want to get more advice on this, bro. QB1. Jolts, absolutely. Josh Allen's a marvel at 24. I love that a lot of people don't think that that Josh Allen can earn a 2-3 turn pick. Unbelievable. You know the reason why a lot of people don't like early quarterback is because it didn't do well last year. It did well the year prior. Everybody was chasing it the year prior in best ball. They were. Now nobody wants to do it because it failed last year. Well, it failed last year. It's true. But doesn't mean it's going to fail this year. And I don't know if you guys remember a year ago how many people were like, good God, I should have got a stable quarterback. I was sick to my stomach up, every single night trying to comb through the waiver wire and get myself, or the trade requests to try and get myself a good QB. And I couldn't do it. I struggled all year. And I'm trusting you now, Smitty. I'm going early quarterback so I don't ever have to worry again. It's nothing like having a Josh Allen or a Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was a top 6 quarterback in 11 weeks out of 17 last year. You think a Jalen Hurts owner was concerned about their QB room ever? No, the answer is no. I'll answer that for you. The answer is no. Sebastian, hang tight. Let me just make sure I get this last super chat out. This is from Mr. Rockout. Rockout says, can I take a lap? I went running back, Gibbs, Barkley. Nope. I'm not sending you on the lap for running back. Another person might, but I won't. I don't mind that at all. I think Barkley's a little early at 12, 13, but doesn't matter. It's okay to go early on Barks. Sebastian, you're live.
These wide receiver prices on Underdog, man, they are getting way out of hand right now.
On who? On who?
On Underdog. I was looking at an old draft I did. I mean, Terry McLaurin, he's up a full 12 slots since best ball opened, and I mean, Ayuk might even go there and tank his value. Christian Watson's up 20 spots. Jameson Williams 25. All across the board, just these wide receiver prices are out of hand.
It's because everybody's just following the leader, man. And again, it's to a degree, it makes you need to follow the leader too. I get that there's some risk involved in chasing wide receiver late when everybody's consumed the ball. I get it. I understand that there's risk involved with that, but there's also a bag of riches waiting for you at the RB position, at the quarterback position, at the tight end position because of this group think. I have a psych degree, bro. I love bringing the psychology to the table here. And what you have with best ball is a group think mentality, a pure pressure, a conformity of sorts is what it's truly called. Conformity is where the masses or one person decides to conform and go with the flow so that they don't feel like the odd man out. Example would be that we're all sitting in a cafeteria and somebody, will do something, a certain ritual with their plate or something, and, organize something a certain way. And you end up doing it as well because you don't want to feel out of place. You don't want to do it, but you do it. You just conform to the group. They're all sitting a certain way. I'll tell you an experiment that they did back in the day that's pretty funny. Let me see real quick. I got Josh on. You know, I'm going to go bully QB. I'm going to do it. I'm also going to draft a little guy that I never draft really, but because I've got his QB, I'm going to do a nice little like a stack underneath my starting quarterback. I'm going to take Michael Pittman Jr. I don't take Michael Pittman Jr. a lot. I don't hate him at all. I just don't think he goes too high. 5th round, I'm okay with it. Especially, I don't have a choice. I don't have
good value on him.
I also don't have a choice of it's not like I can trade. So, while I don't want to make him an early 5th rounder all the time, like just my personal preference on Michael Pittman Jr., this is basically I have to wait almost 24 picks till I get up again. So I'm fine with this. I've got 2 wide receivers. I've got DK. I've got Pittman Jr. I've got bully QB. I've got Christian McCaffrey. This is weeklies. One thing I love in weeklies, and this is what is that? What was that noise? Hello? Hello? What was that noise? Sebastian, was that you?
No, I'm on mute.
Bay Area, was that you? It's okay. I'm just asking what it was. It sounded like somebody blew their nose or they got hit by a train. I think Bay Area is on mute, bro. I think it was you, Sebastian. I don't think you're telling me the full truth here.
No, I'm pretty positive I was on mute.
No one ever. I got 2 people on the phone. No one wants to admit that it was them. There's two people. There's only 2. There's only 2 options here. Bay Area, was that you? He's not even answering. Bay Area Thomas, can you answer? Are you there? I'm gonna hang up on you. Call back in if you wanna get back in. He's not even answering. It had to have been you, Sebastian, because he's not even answering. He's not even there. All right, hold on,
bro. I'm sure, bro. I don't even get allergies or anything.
Okay. Anyway, let's go back to the point here. So conformity. Let me tell you a story about conformity. Bay Area, Thomas, mute yourself. We couldn't hear you. I don't know what was going on with you, but are you there? Bay Area, Thomas?
Hello?
Okay. Mute yourself, pal. I'll be right with you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Conformity. They did a study back in the day where basically a Confederate in an experiment is somebody that's in on the experiment, okay? So you're trying to measure one person walking into an elevator. You've got 3 other Confederates in the experiment. They know what's going on. They're pretending they're normal people. And as soon as they get into the elevator and they all press their buttons, the 3 Confederates turn around and face the back end of the elevator. And the person that doesn't know this is an experiment is looking around going, what in the hell is going on here? And if it's a long elevator ride, the longer the ride is, the person eventually starts to turn their body around because they feel so uncomfortable that they're the only person not facing the back of the elevator. That's conformity. That conformity, everybody's conforming to a certain draft style because everyone else is doing it. And the problem is it is skewing some of the data because the majority of people in every draft are heavy wide receiver. And so it is making it a problem in terms of you've got to land your receivers, and I'm confident in that. I don't need to go 5 wide receivers in the first 7 picks. Right now, I have 2, and I'm completely content with it. And I'm not going to force myself to go wide receiver with both of these next 2 picks because everyone's telling me that I need to. Like, who's to say I'm not going to be in the smaller percentage of people that are winning by not going 5 wide receivers in the first 7? That's what's just so insane. I get so many messages from these know-it-all, know-it-all Noahs that are just sitting there going, Smitty, You're not going to make it far in your fantasy football. As if I did. I haven't played best ball before. I've been playing best ball, and I've been playing just fine. Thank you very much. On the clock. What am I doing here? Tight ends. Ingram's there. That's not bad. Running backs. Okay. Let's go with Keon Coleman. So now I got Josh Allen and Coleman. I got Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman Jr. Don't need to stack. Don't have to stack. Sometimes I don't even want to stack. But sometimes it works out beautifully. Running back, let's go with Zamir White. We've been talking about him all day. McCaffrey, Zamir, two monsters. Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson, DK, Pittman, Coleman. I'm loving it. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this team. The thing I like about the weeklies is with this approach is if I have two quarterback avenues to take with this. You know, not to say that Josh Allen, DK, Michael Pittman, and Coleman can't all be a part of this win, because Pittman could still have a really good game. Anthony Richardson and Josh Allen could both score massive points, and Josh Allen just barely beat him. Or Richardson could barely beat him, and all the three wide receivers be included in my win. But it's nice to know that, like, if, let's say, Josh Allen had a bad game, I'm still not out of it, you know. So I like this little squad so far. It's different than a couple of my other teams. This one right here from Jace says, Smitty, how am I looking? Well, your name better be Jason. There it is. Same exact name. Your team, my friend, is pretty solid so far. JJ, Kyron, Mike Evans, Lamar, Zay Flowers, Kamara. I like it. The thing about weeklies, bro, is every single one of these teams can win a week. You know, sometimes I'll see a team in weeklies and I'll say that team can win weeklies, but it will not win Best Ball Mania. But good thing is you're not needing to win Best Ball Mania. You're playing weeklies. And they are going to be different teams. Sebastian, you're in the 9 spot. I just noticed that. You've got Gibbs, Achan. I like that, bro. I'm proud of you trying a running back. Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown, Christian Kirk, Keenan Allen. Yeah, it's a good squad.
Some receivers fell in the squad.
You know, yeah, you know
their ADP.
Yeah, you know how I feel about some of those guys. But I like Hollywood. I don't love Kirk as much. I don't love Keenan Allen. I don't love DJ Moore as much. But that's me. I love Devontae Smith. I like that. I think he did good there. Shub's in the 12 spots. Got Garrett Wilson, JT, ETN, Pacheco, McLaurin, Pitts. Ray G's in the 10 spot. Puka, Saquon, Laporta, Mahomes, Ridley, Christian Watson, Brian Thomas Jr. That's a solid little squad there. I like that. Nice team. Mahomes, Laporta, Barkley, Puka. It's really good. And Ridley and Brian Thomas, Christian Watson, like, you can't get any better than those three receivers when you're talking about down in the 5, 6, 7 rounds. Like, I like that, Ray G. You did a really good job. My team, again, from the far left, we've got Christian McCaffrey, we've got Josh Allen, DK Metcalf, Anthony Richardson, against one QB, but I'm bully QBing this bad boy. Michael Pittman, Keon Coleman, Zamir White. Have I had better teams? Sure. Do I like this team? Yes. Bay Area, Thomas, and then over to Travis. Travis, do you mind if I go to Bay Area real quick, just because he's been on hold for a long, long time?
No, go for it.
Bay Area, Thomas, what's up, my guy?
Hey, Smitty, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good.
So we're talking about the Wilson thing. So he's been going at about sometimes 8, 9, or 10 before me. And a lot of times I'm getting Taylor falling to me, Williams is falling to me, sometimes Barkley, and taking a running back strategy and then coming back, because I don't think it's getting to the end of the 3rd round, beginning of the 4th round. And the receivers at that point are looking way better than if I would go receiver, and then come back trying to get a running back in the 3rd or 4th round. Because at the 3rd or 4th round, the running back is the only one I've seen that I really would love is probably Jacobs. I haven't seen Henry fall to the end of the 3rd. Trying to think of anybody else. Jacobs is probably the only one I've really seen that I would take at the end of the third round. So going running back would give me a much more balanced team than if I were to go.
It might. I will say though, on average, I do love balance when you can do it. You know, because you're gonna end up not loving some things about your team, and you're gonna end up loving some things about your team. Real quickly, I gotta make a draft selection here. Man, I don't mind. I don't mind a Doomsday this late. I don't mind him this late. Running backs. Damn, this is tough. I'm deciding between Jamison Williams and Jalen Warren. I think I'm going to go with Jalen Warren here. I really like the way Jalen Warren is looking right now. I think Jalen Warren and Zamir feel very similar. I think they're both potentially sleeping giants this year. Okay. So at the 8 pick, is Gibbs going to be there?
You talking to me?
Yep.
At 11.
Oh, sorry, 11.
I think I've seen him there a couple of times.
Yeah. Okay, so you think maybe he'll fall. Let's go look on this board real quick and use this board as an example. So at 11, I mean, A.J. Brown. But A.J. Brown, Puka, or Gibbs should be there for you.
Yes.
So I just kind of I'm fine with any one of those guys, Puka and A.J. Brown. So you're probably starting off with a wide receiver, or you're getting Gibbs, and you're going to be happy as can be. I'd rather have Gibbs over all of them. So, but if not, you're getting A.J. Brown or Puka. Like, so I don't mind going running back. I'm not saying I mind it, but I don't think you need to force it. I like those wide receiver options there. And then when you come back around in the next round, I mean, you could go early Kyron, you could go early Achane, and I'm fine with either one of those. And then you'd have, A.J. Brown and Kyron. Like, A.J. Brown and Kyron would be unbelievable. Puka and Kyron would be, you kind of putting all your eggs in the Rams basket in that sense. But in non-best ball, I don't love that as much. But I also love their offense. So, I don't know. I would say give me A.J. Brown or Puka if you can get it. If you can get Gibbs and Kyron, I like that too. London's fantastic as well. You what?
What about Taylor and Kyron?
I'm not a huge Jonathan Taylor guy, bro. I like him, but I just don't. I'm not in love with it. I'm especially not taking him in the first round.
I could come back in the third round, and then I would have maybe Ayuk, Moore, Waddle, or Smith. As my wide receivers to choose from, and I just love the balance on that.
Bro, you get a DK and Devontae Smith, or a Dell and DK. You don't need to go wide receiver in rounds 1 and 2. People are out of their mind. Don't listen to them, bro. If you get Gibbs and Kyron, let's say Gibbs and Kyron. If Gibbs is there, I'm taking him even over Puka. I take Gibbs over Puka.
Yeah.
If I get Gibbs and Kyron, and I get DK and Dell, and I get AR5 or maybe Mahomes, but I'm fine. McBride in AR5. You could maybe get McBride in 4 and AR5 in 5. I mean, bro, that's an unbelievable team. Gibbs, Kyron, DK, Tank Dell, Stroud, or Tank Dell, AR5, McBride, or Kincaid. Smash. But the balance is nice, but you don't necessarily need it. You can figure out the balance.
Go for it.
All right, hang tight, Bay Area. All right, mute yourself real quick. Let me go over to Travis. Travis, what's up?
All right.
Yeah, not much. I missed the beginning of it, but you're just talking about Henry and Saquon, like their value going up or whatever. Have you done any underdogs where you get both of them?
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what I talked about, is that you can get Jamar Chase, you can get Saquon, and you can get Henry, and you're basically going robust RB without using your first rounder. Like it's fun.
Yeah, I went. I had one where I went AJB, Saquon, Jalen Hurts, and then Henry as my top 4.
Yeah.
So it's you can really get some nice beginning to a build with that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely make sure you watch the rest of it to make.
Yeah, I'll watch it back the first 15, 20 minutes I missed. So.
Let's see here. I've got. Let me look at my team again real quick. I got Allen at AR5. I've got Christian McCaffrey, Zamir White, Jalen Warren, DK, Pittman, Keon Coleman, Rome. I'm gonna go Shakir. And now I've got Coleman and Shakir. And then damn. I'm gonna time out, and I don't want to time out, so I'm reaching on this one. But I don't know. He probably won't make it back to me. But I was gonna time out, so I went Dotson. Yeah, so what's the earliest you take Saquon Barkley, Travis? Mine is, I'd take him anywhere in the second round, but I prefer him at like 14, 13, 14, 15, 16, but what's the earliest you take him?
Yeah, what's his ADP is 20. I mean, I took him 17, so, anywhere in the second round, if it fell. I mean, if it fell where, like, I couldn't see myself taking him probably at the very top of the second round, because I think there's going to be guys I like a little better. But, a few picks into the second round. I think he's going to be great this year, though. So.
Yeah. Such an awesome community. Thank you, Shamrock. Appreciate you, pal. Is this my favorite team? No, it's not. This is not my favorite team. I like my team, but it's not my favorite. What?
I was just gonna say, I think there's definitely like truth in that comment that was made about using him like CMC. Like I think you had said like not necessarily that he's definitely going to be putting up like 1,000 season like CMC did in the past or anything like that, but like he's going to be all over the field. It's like how like CMC. It's like last year it seemed like.
Who are you talking about?
Who are you talking about? Barkley.
Oh yeah.
Barkley. Saquon.
I mean, look, Kellen Moore.
Like every play was in his hand. Yeah.
Kellen Moore is not going to use him like they used Swift last year. Everybody's trying to just like paint this picture about he's going to only get rushes. It's not the way Kellen Moore is going to operate. So anybody expecting this? I mean, Hurts even said 95% of the offense is different. So you're going to see Saquon catch double the passes that you're expecting, and you're going to see Saquon have. I do think they'll do the brotherly shove. I think that's the 5% that probably stayed the same.
Yeah.
But it's it's not.
He's just such a different animal from Swift. Like I don't know if people forget, but the Lions, when they got rid of him, or were like even looking at, there were rumors they could trade him before he ended up with Philly. They said something along the lines of like they'd give him a play and he wouldn't hit the right holes. Like I don't know if it's his vision or he's just not good with a playbook or what, but like I mean he's a freak athlete. His skills are amazing, but like Saquon Barkley is just such a huge tier up from Swift.
It's going to be remarkable, as I always tell people, and make sure you watch the beginning of the show because it's about 10. It's a 10-minute intro before I hit the intro, but it's about 10 minutes of me talking about both these guys have incentives. Both of them have over $4 million in incentives, so that right there makes them massive. Potential. Not going to try and sit out games or anything like that. Second thing is that. Both these guys their ADPs protect their risk. They both You don't want them going higher, but they can earn higher value. You know, you don't want to have to draft either one of them in the first round. But this is the best way if you want to go cheap with your RB room, but still go robust RB. Still have a Jamar Chase, a St. Brown, a Puka, whoever. They're probably the best 2 running backs to look at in terms of that. Or I think Kyron too, but Barkley, as I say all the time, no one, including me, including you, including anybody watching, no one knows how good he can be. We have no clue. He's been playing in a limited offense for his entire career. And, you know, thank God he got out in time. Had he waited another year or two, maybe he wouldn't be in his prime.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm glad we get to see what this man's truly capable of doing and being. And it's gonna be something fun to watch, because he might be extremely special. And I'm here for it. Let me see what I can concoct here with this pick here. Hold on a second. Let me. You know, I go a lot of rookies. I know people love to have fun with that, but this is a great class to do this with. McCaffrey, Josh Allen, DK Metcalf, Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman Jr., Bully QB. Then I got Keon Coleman. So I got Keon Coleman and Josh Allen. I got Anthony Richardson and Pittman. I got Rome Odunze, Zamir White, Jalen Warren, Shakir to go with my Keon Coleman and Josh Allen, Jahan Dotson, Luke Musgrave, Xavier Legette. There we go. There we go.
Did you see the...
Let's see the what?
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure if you were saying something. I was just saying, did you see something came out about, like, the Giants made the case to Saquon, like, you could be an all-time legend or something for the Giants if you stay with us or something like that.
I didn't talk about that.
Such a sad situation.
Yeah, I didn't talk about that part, but in the 10-minute intro, I called the Giants one of the worst organizations right now. And the fact that they told Saquon to go find his value and come back is going to be the biggest thing they regret in the next 10 years. Saquon Barkley is going to, as I said in the intro, again, watch it, you're going to like it. In the intro, I said, if you send this guy out to go get his value and he's going to touch earth, you know, outside of he's going to touch, you know, sand and dirt and breathe air in a different territory where he figures out that things can be different. And somebody says, we'll give you this. They wouldn't give you it, but we'll give you it. He's supposed to carry that offer back and say, hey, can I come back home where I'm limited, where you don't believe in me, where I'm held back, and can I make this money here? Like, what kind of morons send their best player out to go test the market value and expect him to come home? I mean, in the fact that, like, he gets to go enjoy and relish in behind one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League, and an amazing offense, have a chance to win a championship game. Like, what a stupid organization to say, let's not bring back Barkley, let's bring Danny Dimes in, let's marry Danny Dimes, let's lock him up to a long-term deal, let's bring in Neighbors, when this team could have this offseason had a quarterback. Who knows who they bring in, but they could have worked hard, traded up, whatever they had to do to aggressively go get their answer at quarterback, had Neighbors, and had Saquon Barkley. Much different situation. Now they have Neighbors and nothing. And the poor kid is going to absolutely either get injured this year catching hospital passes, or he's going to be extremely disappointed. People are going to write him off. And then maybe Neighbors becomes a value next offseason because people are so fed up with the fact that he can't get the football.
And that's the thing that people underestimated is, oh, well, Neighbors is going to get all the catches. There's no one else. Well, they're going to be bad passes, you know, which not only, you know, he can only catch so much that's thrown to him, but he can get hurt.
That's why they're hospital balls.
Yep.
Sebastian, what else you got?
Rookie wide receivers, I really do think Rome Odunze is priced appropriately.
I mean, where I got him, I like him.
I really do think.
You know,
What's up?
where I got him, I like him. He's at the tail at the ninth, practically the ninth round, the 8-9 turn. That's really good value.
Yeah, I mean, from that like 70th range, I'm not loving McConkey, but I could get away with a couple shares of him if I don't have an early quarterback, only because Herbert does fall a lot. So there is some value to be had there if the board plays right. But other than that, I don't really like McConkey. And I think Keon Coleman's going a little too high.
I love Keon Coleman. I'm fine with it. But I understand it.
I think he's still going to be a league winner, but I don't think he's going to be scoring from week one from what everyone's expecting.
I got so many rookies. I always have so many rookie receivers. This is the class though that's going to produce several really, really good performing rookie receivers. Not to mention, people always have a natural tendency to doubt them. And this is a position that now pops off immediately at the NFL level. It's not the same. It's not like it used to be. I've been doing this longer than almost anybody you can put in front of me. For even just playing fantasy football, but especially professionally. You know, Matthew Berry, he's doing it a little longer than I have. Very few people you could ever find put it right in front of me to say this professionally done this longer than I have. And I'm telling you, I've seen all of the waves of this thing. I've seen Tom Brady, and this is why Tom Brady was so special to me, is when he entered the league, I entered fantasy football professionally. How many years did he play? It was 20,
like 21 or 22.
22. Yeah, so I was already in fantasy football. But I was new. I was green to it. And here comes Tom Brady. So it was a kind of a tough thing for me to watch the final player leave the league that had been there from near the start for me. But I've seen the cycles. And back then, quarterbacks didn't do well as rookies. Receivers didn't do well as rookies. Tight ends still barely do well as rookies. I mean, we've seen Laporta, but it's very rare. But that might be changing. Running backs have always been pretty good. Even back in the day, running backs could plug and play, could do really well. Receivers now can ball the hell out. They hit rookie walls, but this is a league now, especially the college game, that it translates over to the NFL so efficiently. Blackbeard says, I found Smitty 5 years ago because of Matthew Berry talking about Smitty. That's right. I remember that story now. I remember that. Wasn't that the one where he said, it was probably on a bad take that I had too, though. I think it was something to do with, maybe that was the Kenyon Drake conversation that he had on ESPN. Where he said, my buddy Smitty likes Kenyon Drake. And I did. I really did like Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake had a lot of talent. Kenyon Drake. Probably, if I had to like cook up a couple of my big misses, we always talk about wins. I don't care about talking about misses. Kenyon Drake was a miss. Trent Richardson was a big miss for me back in the day.
I liked him.
Trey Lance was a miss for me recently, but I still blame that on Shanahan entirely. I think another big miss would have been. There's definitely, everybody has misses all the freaking time.
Kenyon Drake at least got in the end zone, even when he was, 8 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns.
There's a lot of upside. I mean, he was a good player. He just kind of, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a big miss for me, but that was a miss for everybody. Everyone was excited about that one. Yeah. Now, you think about CEH going in the first round. It was crazy. And he was such a translatable, like all the data looked really good. And even Joe Burrow saying that out of all both Bosa brothers, JJ, Jamar Chase, all the players that Joe Burrow's played with in the NFL, and he's played with a lot on both sides of the ball. Joe Burrow said that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, by far, better than all those guys in terms of being a college football player. He said he's the best college football player that he's ever played with, played across from, whatever, like trying to include defensive players. So like the hype was huge on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It was huge. This is why I've been very shocked that CEH hasn't been brought into Cincinnati. That Joe Burrow hasn't tried to use some of his pull to see. But anyway.
Kansas City just keeps holding on to him.
Sick Nasty said, I actually found the fantasyfootballshow.com before I found Smitty, then started listening to it. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. So you found my content site and then started watching the YouTube channel. That's great. That's great to know.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
When I started this channel, I think it was like 5 years ago. I think it was this could be year 6, but I think it's 5. I forget. But I thought, because I come from I have a big content site, I thought I was gonna have thousands of people watching me at first, but it did not translate. A lot of the hold on, let me make this pick first. I went Jelani Woods here. I've got Anthony Richardson, so feels like a good pick. And then what round are we in? 17. I could use a backup Q or a third quarterback. So I've got tons of receivers. Okay.
Smitty, can I get away with 4 running backs in this draft? Or is Tajay Spears a little too weak to be that 4th?
Let me look at your team. What draft slot are you in?
No, 9.
9.
9.
So you got Achane, Gibbs, Moss, Spears. No, you need a 5th one. Well, it's weekly, so not necessarily, I guess. Yeah, you do what you want. It's weeklies. I'm gonna go with 2 QBs because I got Josh Allen and AR5, and it's weeklies. Who cares? You miss a week, you don't have somebody on a bye week. Who cares? Like, yeah, don't worry about it. If the position's worth avoiding, I went ahead and went. So my tight end, my top tight end is Luke Musgrave, which you could say is risky, but he's a huge breakout of mine. I'm loving this pick. And then I cuffed him to Tucker Kraft, and then I got Jelani Woods cuffed to AR5. So I feel pretty damn good with this team so far. Running backs are Christian McCaffrey, Zamir White, Jalen Warren, and Elijah Mitchell. My receivers are Leggett, Franklin, Dotson, Shakir, Adunze, Keon Coleman, Michael Pittman Jr., and DK Metcalf. I don't know. Smitty seems like an awful lot of rookie wide receivers for a weekly winner. Why? What's that? Weekly winners is even better to have.
I'd argue they're better. Yeah.
It's a much better situation.
You get a consistent rookie that pops off.
I found out about Smitty on a pager. That's probably true, to be honest. Been doing it long enough, I guess. Smitty, how am I looking at the 8 spot? Oh, I already got to your super chat. Thank you. Superfish at the 7 spot. I just noticed Superfish in this. Bijan, Debo, Kincaid, Kyler, Reed, Mostert, Jonu, JSN, Ford. T-Bot, I'm not surprised that comment would come from you because you sometimes are a slave to the data. Who cares about the data? Even if data says stay away from rookies from 2023, this is a different rookie class. Stop being a slave to the data. Start thinking about what you believe is going to happen in 2024. You know? Stop worrying about what running backs were doing last year, what quarterbacks were doing last year, how good it was to go early QB when tons of them got hurt.
He said I never mentioned the data, but that's what he's going off of.
Yeah, but that's driving. Why are you not liking rookie receivers in best ball, in weeklies? Something's guiding you on that comment. That's all I'm saying how do you feel? If you don't like rookie receivers this year, then don't draft them. I mean, no doubt. No doubt about it. I did state what I believe. Okay, Timo. Well, good. Don't draft rookie receivers if you don't like them, though. You said that looks like an awful lot of rookie receivers. My response was that I don't agree, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm answering your concern. I think I'm going to draft. I don't believe in. Well, I don't want to say it yet. I don't want to say it yet.
Chase Claypool.
No. Although, you know.
Do you think he has a sneaky comeback? Because he's been getting some like random flashes.
I'm not going to say.
Me, but I think he can. I think he can fill in that Gabe Davis role. I don't even know if he can put up the numbers Gabe Davis does, but I think he can stick with the team and play that Gabe Davis role where he just goes down the field. Uses that.
He might stretch the field, and that's the end of it. You know, I don't know. I can't.
Right.
The thing about players that vanish, very rarely do they ever live up to this hype when they haven't done it and they've moved teams. Like, you keep moving teams and you can't live up to the hype. It's very, very extremely rare. Look, DeAndre Swift is a perfect example of why I don't think Swift's going to work out. He keeps moving teams, and he keeps there's some sort of trend of, as Travis said, he doesn't know if he's picking up the offense. Is he not pick up things well? Is he not focused on the details? They ran away from him. You know, it's not like they tried to bring him back. He carried the ball a lot, but they wanted something different. I don't think it's something that. Okay, hold on one second. I think I'm gonna take Garendo here and cuff Garendo to Mitchell for CMC in weeklies here.
Especially weeklies.
Yeah. I mean, Mason is like I didn't go near Mason though, but that's all right. I don't believe really in Mason. I think Garendo is going to pass Mason up pretty quickly if he hasn't already.
Probably will now.
Just mentally, and then Elijah Mitchell is not retained. They're not re-signing him. He's on his last year, so I think at some point Garendo passes him, but initially Mitchell will be the backup because Garendo won't be up to par yet.
The one thing I wanted to say quick on Claypool, and I agree with you that when guys bounce from team to team, there's something is off, obviously, and we know they're, Claypool was like a bonehead and kind of got full of himself, but he went to Chicago, who I don't trust anything with Chicago, and then when he went to Miami last year, he was never gonna crack that lineup halfway through the year and do much. To me, that was like a flyer, but they didn't keep him. So there's
name the last time a player's been a journeyman. Never lived up. Yeah, I agree with you. But I'm just saying, can anybody find one? Been a journeyman.
Geno Smith.
He hasn't lived up to like the hype.
Who?
I mean, he to
late bloomer. I mean,
who?
Only for like 1 year, but that was it. Geno Smith.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't qualify for me. Like, it has to be somebody that's turned into something. I mean, who's turned into something is extremely solid that was supposed to, that has traveled to multiple teams. And it's taken this long for them to pick it up. And they just find a home and just thrive. They get like it's just the odds are extremely against Claypool doing it. There's two things that are near certainties. That formula. And I think Swift follows that, fits that bill. Swift is going to fail, in my opinion. The other one would be that when you take time off, significant time off, you do not return as the same player. Ridley is the one potential caveat that we still have not yet fully seen, because he didn't exactly do what we wanted him to do last year. He did not live up to the hype. He did very well, relatively speaking. So we'll see what happens on that. But look at Deshaun Watson. Ricky Williams is probably maybe the best case of it ever really happening. And then there's tons of other examples. And even if somebody does kind of return to form a little bit, it doesn't happen for very long. You lose an edge. You know, it's just a very, very tough thing to count on. Very, very tough thing to count on. Yeah, this is a good draft, everyone. Good draft,
everyone.
everyone.
One was Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. Moving teams does not help. It does not help. It makes it very, very, very tough. Yeah. So,
do you think Claypool had the potential to ever live up to that hype pretty much after his rookie year to be like a top 12 to 15 wide receiver?
Do I think he ever what?
He had himself as top 5. What's up?
What's the question? Aren't we just talking about this for 10 minutes?
Like, do you think he could have lived up to it in the first case?
Could have.
In Pittsburgh?
I think he had the talent.
No, I mean, no, because the answer is, I think we've already had it answered for us, that if he was good enough, he would have put it together by now. He's changed. Just like Swift, there's a problem there. You know, there's a problem there with
physical ability.
Yeah, I mean, but some total.
Do you think he got lucky then in the beginning of his career?
No, I think he just physically was good enough for the role they had him in. And then once it came to everything else, he couldn't put it together.
It's just regardless. I don't think Claypool has what it takes. You know.
Definitely.
Am I hopeful he can prove me wrong and at least, like Travis said, stretch the field for Josh Allen and, you know, or for the sake of everybody around him? Maybe, but like, no, I mean, he's definitely not any good, bro. I mean, could he have a moment or two? Sure. You know who's another certainty to just not be good? You know, like it's over. It's like Odell. Why does everybody think Odell's going to put something together?
I don't get that, yeah.
I don't understand everyone's falling for this trap again. Like over and over and over again. Odell. Everybody wants Odell. I don't know what it is. Like, what is Odell? How is Odell going to put together an elite season? You know?
He can't. He's tore his ACL twice. Been a journeyman. Didn't work out in Cleveland.
He's the definition of what we're talking about.
His time is over.
I mean, he was good at one point for sure. It's not like he's in the same category as Claypool, where it's like he never developed. But like once he was done, like we look back at when his career stopped becoming a good career, he kept getting injured. How is he ever going to return? He's a journeyman. It's never going to happen. I mean, have I drafted him before? Why. Yeah, I have, like at the end of a draft, and I'm like, God, I need a receiver who's going to catch like some passes when he's at least healthy. I did draft him. But Odell ain't doing nothing. Claypool ain't doing nothing.
I just don't get why the Miami even signed him. Like, I feel like there's someone else better out there, unless they just want a veteran guy. Because it seems like he's matured and he's willing to play like that veteran role, and he doesn't need the ball in his hands all the time.
Rock out.
You know, if that's what they want,
yeah,
that's fine. But
rock out. What's up? And then I'll go over to John. Rock out.
Rock out.
He's in the building.
What's up? I finally made my worst team.
All right, hit me with it.
Quarterback, Tua, Stafford, Rodgers. Running back, Gibbs, Barkley, Kamara, Harris, Eckler. Wide receiver, Pickens, McLaurin, Brian Thomas Jr., Dodson, Corley, McMillan, Baker. Tight end, Laporta, likely, Gesicki.
6 out of 10. 5.5 to 6 out of 10. Just didn't do it for me. But hey, bro, I have those drafts all the time. I mean, my draft in this one, Allen Richardson, that could be my downfall, but I wanted to try Boley. McCaffrey, Zamir, Jalen Warren, Elijah Mitchell, Garendo. DK, Pittman, Coleman, Adunze, Shakir, Dotson, Xavier Legette, Franklin, Luke Musgrave, Jelani Woods, Kraft. I'd say if I'm lucky, that's a 7 out of 10. If I'm lucky, I don't love it. It's not bad. I mean, weeklies it could win, like any given week. All those guys fire off, but it's not one of my favorite teams whatsoever. It's not. It happens.
It was taking like 5 receivers, another guy was taking 8, so the ratio got messed up.
Yeah, it happens, bro.
Yeah.
God. I'm trying to muster up the energy to do a Dynasty show real quick after this. Any topics for a Dynasty show?
Ooh, what haven't we done lately?
Let me go over to John while we're waiting. John, go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Tank Gisby? I botched his name. And my team at the 11th spot.
Bigsby. I think Bigsby is not. You're in the 11th spot. I didn't know you were in this draft. 11th spot. AJ Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jacobs, Tank Dell, Kenneth Walker, Rashad White, Jordan Love. I like your squad. Brock Purdy, Goddard, Blake Corum, Gabe Davis, Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, I like this team. Vidal. Bigsby, what I don't know. Like where you got him, sure. I mean, why not? I mean, anything can happen, but I mean, God, he crapped the bed last year. The Bigsby experiment and the Bigsby fear, the phantom fear of Tank Bigsby. I think maybe we have a little story about that. Little some sort of drop, some sort of animation drop. The scary story about Tank Bigsby, the phantom menace that was supposed to instill fear in every ETN owner known to man. And the guy goes out there and lays a Yuletide log right on the field, just like Roshan did. Even though I think Roshan was a victim to the Bears, honestly, and some injury, bad luck and all that. But Tank Bigsby, this is why I think people overreact about Corum. This is why I think a lot of people are overreacting about any running back that's backing up somebody whenever a running back's drafted or a running back signed and people start freaking out. Remember, James Robinson scared the hell out of everybody, especially in week 1. They're like, oh, Smitty, you're so wrong about ETN, when ETN was a moon man and James Robinson was on the roster and ETN absolutely exploded. He just needed a little bit of time. Tank Bigsby is nothing but a backup. And if you've got ETN, it's okay. If you don't have ETN, I don't know that I would bother, but you know, you never know. ETN goes down, he'd certainly get called upon and we'll see what he does, but he definitely didn't bring any sort of thunder to the table last year at all. I mean, he just looked pedestrian. And he had a lot of upside.
Appreciate it. Have a great night, Smitty.
All right, later.
Like your team, too. It's really good.
Hey, thanks.
Crazy good. You always draft very balanced teams. And I always come out thinking, man, you got to have more wide receivers. And somehow you pull it out of the bag, and it looks great every time. So,
All right, thanks, John.
congrats.
All right, later, John. He sounds like he's so much more, you get along with him so much more on the phone than in the chat. He's always complaining in the chat, it seems, and on the phone line, he's gracious as can be. I don't know. I'm not sure. Who's on the phone here? Any final thoughts, Sebastian?
An idea for the Dynasty show. CeeDee Lamb. Very, very uncertain.
Yeah, that could be a good one. I like that. Maybe we'll go CeeDee Lamb.
I was gonna say we could, something like that, and maybe even just touch on like Zamir White, because I think he's kind of an up in the air Dynasty
Let's do that.
guy.
Let's do that. CeeDee Lamb and Zamir. Did Zamir eat CeeDee Lamb's contract? You know, is that why it went
He
missing?
might have.
I think maybe he did. We'll start off the show with that. Lamb's
He was
contract
supposed
was
to metabolize
delivered.
it and present it to Jerry Jones, but
Yeah.
it hasn't metabolized yet.
The contract was
He's got the
FedExed
contract.
over to Zamir's house because they might be staying with each other as they train, Zamir and CD.
Yeah.
And Zamir got a little hungry and he just ate the box. Happened to have the contract in it, and Lamb's waiting. He's waiting. All right.
We'll dissect it.
All right, Sebastian. We'll see you over there. You can call in if you want over on the Dynasty channel. Later, bro.
Got you. Have a good one, right?
Yep. Mars man, rock out. What's up? Final thoughts.
I'll catch you on the Dynasty.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Travis Rowe.
See you on the Dynasty.
All right, later, bro. All right. We'll be back. We'll be back in like 5 minutes then on the Dynasty channel. If you guys don't have the Dynasty link, it's pretty easy. YouTube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. But I will drop that said link right here for you all. There it is. There it is. Man, I had some like spicy pizza, and it's burning. It's burning, and I'm coughing. Probably not the best choice of food. I hadn't eaten all day though, and that pizza sounded really good. It was the highest score in Arizona by Dave Portnoy. It was Trevor's Liquor. It sounds like it's a trash pizza, but it's not. It's like a high-end like liquor store. Like it's like costs money just to walk in probably. And it's a super high-end alcohol everywhere. It's like super nice place called Trevor's Liquor. Got an 8.4, I think. And so I tried it, a month ago. It's pretty good. A little bit spicy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying I'm a wuss with that, but when you're coughing and hacking up a lung and haven't eaten much, your stomach's like sensitive to everything because you've been sick, whole family's sick. It's hitting the esophagus a little differently than it should, I think, right now. So it's burning up. On that note, I probably should get some water while I reset here, but we'll be live on the Dynasty channel in T-minus, let's call it 4 to 5 minutes. I've dropped the link. I'll drop the link one more time. Here's the link, Dynasty channel. CD Lamb. There it is. I'll see you guys over there in just a few minutes. Get lamb chopped. Good draft, everybody. Hit that link that's pinned in the live chat if you want to draft with us next time on Underdog using code Smitty. The link inserts code Smitty for you. The link's also in the description of every video. Do it live. Appreciate you. See you soon. See you soon on the Dynasty channel. One of my hometown joints got a 9.9 from Portnoy. No way, bro. 9.9? Has he ever given? I don't think he's ever given a 9.9. I'm not trying to call you out on that. I've never seen it. All right, guys. See you on the Dynasty channel. Here's the link one more time.